We are in South Africa. A Zimbabwean man named Luis Sereneta gets life imprisonment for unaliving girlfriend during a fight over lobola. What's up, everybody? Hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by. We have a very interesting story here I thought we were going to share. We talk about a lot of things here. We talk about geopolitics. We talk about our people. We talk about the diaspora. And I think this is a very interesting story. So there is a man in the name of Sereneta Moyo. He's from Zimbabwe. Here is Zimbabwe. Here's a map. And here is South Africa. The murder took place in South Africa. So what had occurred is the man has unalived his girlfriend for using lobola money. I'm going to explain to you what lobola is. So he got life imprisonment plus 6 months for being unlawfully in the country. I don't know if that was really necessary. Like life imprisonment already for unaliving somebody. But with him with 6 months because you were an illegal immigrant. Interesting. Okay, so let's try to understand what this is about. What is lobola? Lobola is the dowry. Okay, the dowry is what the man's family would give to the woman's family in order to show appreciation, respect, and seriousness before they take the woman. This happens in Africa, sometimes in some countries in Asia as well. So that's what it is. In Africa, you don't just take a woman and go with her, saying, okay, I've got a woman. She's mine now. We love each other. We're going to move in together and that's it. The family, we're going to be okay with that. Yeah. No family will be okay with you taking a child. Sorry, guys, from America and Caribbean, you have to pay the dowry. Okay, the dowry is the sign of respect. Your family has to come. Some people ask for cows with symbolic things. So initially, the dowry was supposed to be symbolic, just, presenting some presents, not expensive stuff. But with the years, things have changed. Now they charge you based on how the woman is. Is she educated? Well, it's going to cost you more. Is she done the university and got a master's degree? Well, it's going to cost you more. Is she childless, meaning a single woman with no child? Well, that's going to cost you even more. Is she the breadwinner in her family? That's going to cost you even more. Unfortunately, that's what you see today. Now, the story is this one. Luis Sereneta is a Zimbabwean national that's moved to South Africa, like most Zimbabweans move to South Africa, for economical purpose, because Zimbabwe is a country that's been through a lot. Okay, Zimbabwe has been sanctioned by America, sanctioned by Britain, because Robert Mugabe, this guy, decided to chase out white people for whatever reason. He said white people were taking the land and the black people had no land, so he asked them to leave the country. After the white people left the country, America and Britain and Europe were not happy with him and they sanctioned him. So Zimbabwe could not trade with other countries and stuff like that. That's why Zimbabwe is a poor country. Well, obviously there is some internal, looting and stealing from the government. Anyway, that's not the subject. The bottom line is many Zimbabweans leave Zimbabwe moving to South Africa looking for a better life. And obviously, like any other human being, by the time you move to the next country, you may fall in love. So Luis fell in love with this lady from South Africa. What is her name? Anyway, I can't find her name, but I'm going to find it very quickly. After moving down with this lady, they stayed together for a while. It was real love. It was real love between the two of them. Moyo trying to be the best man he can possibly be, because, when you're a foreigner, you come to a foreign land and you find a girlfriend, you try to do extra things to look good so that they can agree to you. You know what I mean? Let me just put it this way for you. Zimbabweans are not very much liked in South Africa. Okay, they're not very much desired by black people of South Africa. So as a Zimbabwean, in order to be accepted, you need to do extra things, provide more money, be more present, be more listening, be more of a husband, more of a serious boyfriend, whatever you call it. Now, Moyo apparently was trying to marry this woman. And in order to marry this woman, officially, you have to pay what South Africans call lobola. Lobola is the dowry. Now, Moyo was trying to keep money together. But unfortunately, so the couple had been living together since 2020 until March this year, when a domestic dispute over money ended the 49-year-old man unaliving his 41-year-old partner. So in order to save money, you need a bank account, okay? Moyo could not get a bank account because he's a foreigner and he's illegal, so cannot open officially a bank account in South Africa. But his girlfriend is South African. She could open a bank account. They made an agreement. She went and had a bank account on her name while Moyo was depositing money into that bank account. The goal was simple. let's save money together until we get enough money so we can pay to your family and you can be officially my wife. Moyo wanted to do things appropriately. Now, apparently, he had accumulated about 15,000 rands into that account. That's just south of $1,000, which was in Koza. Her name is Koza. Koza's bank account. The lady's name is Koza. So apparently, the argument they had was about the money. She might have misused the money, spent the money on things that were unnecessary or things that were not as necessary as him paying lobola. So lobola was very important for this guy that was very in love with this woman named Koza. But unfortunately, she spent the money, so he got really, really pissed off. They went through an argument, and during the confrontation, Moyo brutally assaulted Koza with various objects. That's crazy. And, leaving her to bleed to... Yeah. I don't know how you get to that, fellas. That's just crazy. How do you hit your girl with object? How do you even hit your girl? I don't understand people who do that. There must be a lot of trauma behind that, for somebody to be to a level of beating up their partners. Yeah, it's just insane. So the attack happened in the room and he fled the scene. Then 3 days later, on the 15th of March 2024, the landlord discovered Koza's lifeless in a decomposed position after being alerted by an unusual odor, and presence of flies. So the flies were flying across the door. So the owner said, okay, let's break the door and find out what's happening behind. That is why they discovered the very, very sad situation. So Moyo left Zimbabwe, coming to South Africa, looking for a better life. Met this lady named Koza, with whom they stayed together since 2020. And he couldn't open a bank account. He wanted to marry her. But for him to achieve that, he needed money, to accumulate money. And could not accumulate money since he did not have a bank account. And he couldn't open a bank account because he was illegal in the country. Now, because Koza, the South African lady, could open a bank account, she opened a bank account in her name. And this man, who was 48 years old, put money into that bank account gradually and reached 15,000 rands. I don't know exactly how much money they asked him for the lobola, but he had 15,000. Now, apparently, Koza misused the money, used it for her own purpose, and he was very, very pissed off. And with that, he hit her with some stuff, and she was unalived. And he was arrested. Now he's going to be put in jail for the rest of his life sentence. Moyo say he unalived Koza in a fit of rage and acknowledged that his actions were premeditated. Wow. How do you get angry to that level? It's just insane. But fella, let's weigh this down, okay? But this is not the first time I hear stories like this, where a woman will take money that was set for their wedding or their lobola, or their dot, or their dowry, however you call it, and spend it on herself or other things that are not necessary. I've seen stories where a woman will spend that money on opening a business. Okay, the man has been putting money into your account to accumulate. She took the money and spent it on a business. Opened the business and the business fell. And justifying saying that, well, I opened the account, justifying saying I opened the business thinking that I'm going to grow the money. But well, why do you spend the money you want to grow for your marriage? I don't understand that. If you truly love somebody, would you spend the money for the dowry or lobola? Let me repeat myself. If you truly love a man and you know he's struggling and he's trying his best to marry you, would you take the money that he's putting in your account and spend it? I don't know if you will do that. Would you not be the one like, hey, be strong, carry on. We already have 15,000. Let's not spend this. Let's just carry on. It must be very, very upsetting seeing that all the effort you've been putting in on this lady, trying to marry her, be at least official, do things appropriately, just to find out that she's been working on the opposite way. That raises a question in your head. Suddenly you say, well, she never really loved me. She's been using me. So I've been fighting hard to make things happen. She's been fighting hard to waste my time. Well, does that justify the fact that you want to unalive her? No. What do? You leave. I mean, I'm sorry, but I feel like marriages in these years are things you need to think about very, very carefully. Like, you need to take really, really your time to really marry somebody. I'm sorry. Especially I'm talking to men. I don't know. Did you see that video that was online with some man from Guinea doing stuff? That 400 women? That's insane. That questions so many things in my beliefs. Like, a lot of people believe that you should be worried about the woman that looks like a stripper, the woman that looks like a ratchet. In fact, I realized that those women, when they go to strip clubs, they actually go there because they sell a fantasy. They're not necessarily interested in no man. It's the girl next door. It's the girl next door you should be worried about, because they don't look like they want anything. But those are the people that went through that. Oh, I don't know if you watched that video. You should go watch it. It's sad. It shows you a man from a government in Equatorial Guinea has been doing that with more than 400 women. They found it in his laptop. He's a politician or whatever. So they investigated him and found 400 videos of him with people's wives, ministers' wives, his brother's wife. It's crazy. It goes that he's a married man. He's got a family. Look how many children he's got. When you see the number of children, you see his wife doesn't have peace. He doesn't give a peace. I don't know if this guy is on steroid or he's sick, whatever it is. But this shows you the nature of many women. I'm sorry. And this was just under bracket or whatever on marriage. Now, does this justify the fact that a man will lift his hand on a woman? Absolutely not. I think it's your mistake if you're getting played. It's your mistake if you don't do thorough investigation about somebody to know what they are, what their moral grounds are. It's your mistake, because nobody is really secretive to that level. I don't believe so. I think people come into our life with signals. People will always send you signals of who they truly are. But the way to talk to somebody, especially, they don't like. But the way to talk about somebody who used to be their friends, you can see, you can tell. The way they talk about a cousin, a sister, a cousin's husband. Moyo is going to spend the rest of his life in prison. They had a 6 months for him being illegal in the country. I don't know how that necessary is South Africa. But in South Africa, the Zimbabweans are perceived as criminals. Now, are all Zimbabweans criminals? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it's possible that all Zimbabwe be criminals. But unfortunately, there are Zimbabweans that have done so many crimes, and that's the reputation has been dented out of all Zimbabweans. Let me know how you feel about this. It's always a great pleasure. God bless.